So what do you think is the most fascinating about football?
I believe it's all the stories that came out of it because it's the game that the whole world enjoy. In Brazil, they call it a religion.
Like today, I'm a forward, and tomorrow, can I be a goalkeeper if I want to? Who would want to be a goalie? Why do they have to play it for altogether 90 minutes?
Back before then, they used to play about 2 hours
2 hours?
for one game.
What do you think it would happen if the game is shorter today?
It used to be played about 15 to 21 players.
I was going to ask.
Back in the days. If we get ourselves together and then have a plan, have a structure, have a dream to go there, and I believe we can do it. We
Yeah.
always support them anyway.
Alright.
We always believe that they can do it, but now it's up to them to do it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Vic, and this is Comedy Featuring. And today on the show, I'm gonna be talking about something that I am not very super passionate about, but I'm curious, and it's one of the most interesting sport in the world. I think you can guess right now that we'll be talking about football or soccer. Since I am no expert in football or soccer, I need someone who can come and talk with me on the show and probably tell us about what is so fascinating about football. So welcome to the show, คุณนิกสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับคุณบิ๊ก
Yeah. So tell us who you are and introduce yourself to our audience.
So, good morning, good afternoon, and good night to the comedy listener. Thank you for having me. I'm Desayut Thanabunchai, or you can call me Nick. I'm the sport editor at The Standard. And right now we are covering the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
Okay. So obviously you're the sport guy of our company, right? So when you say sport guy, it definitely suggests that you are interested in more than just one sport. So what kind of sport do you play or enjoy watching or follow?
Basically, I started as a rugby player.
Oh, okay. I can tell. I can tell you do have like the
The
rugby
structure is
player.
still there.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So this is like how many years ago?
The last time I played official game for my high school is in 2007. So
That's a really long time ago.
That's a very long time ago.
Okay. So do you still play?
Not really. I only watch it now.
I see.
But
Okay.
I also enjoy football, badminton, boxing, and tennis.
Okay.
So all kind of sport that.
Yeah. But you do follow everything because you are like a sport editor, so you can just be interested in like three. And know nothing about the rest, right?
So basically, we have to follow every sport because anything can happen at any time in the world of news, of course.
Right. So if you're interested in sport, please follow the Standard for the sports section.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So today, like I said before, that I'm sure that a lot of people out there are like me. That is, we have no interest or knowledge about the football or soccer, but we're going to be calling it football on this show because obviously we're not American, and this, when we say football, obviously it's not American football. It's football.
It's football,
okay. Like the rest of the world call it. Okay. So, but I do want to talk to someone about soccer, about football. All right. Maybe I'm going to be asking you some stupid or silly question, being a football dummy as I am. So let's get into it.
Let's dive in.
All right. So first of all, I want to know, why do they have to play it for like altogether 90 minutes? Because it seems to be a very, very long time, and it's like 45 minutes for each half, right? And 45 minutes for like a regular people running around kicking balls, that's a lot of work. So why do they have to have the match like so long?
So that is actually a very interesting question, because I believe that this question can be asked to any sport editor around the world, and they will go like, yeah, why do we play 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Because it's really not really a stupid question, but it's like, Yeah, I don't really know that.
Yeah.
But then, if you dive in, you'll find that the history of football, the modern football as we know it today, the field behind me, and the one that I play in Qatar right now, is actually formalized in England in about the year 1860 when the football association was formed. So back in the day, football was really unstructured and don't really have any set of rules. Back in the days, in England, they used to play something called mud football.
Mud football?
Mud football.
Like they're playing football in the mud?
In the mud.
Really?
And then it's like a group of guys just come together and then they have one pigskin ball and then everybody just has to try to move the ball into the opposite side.
Okay.
It was chaos. It's a good thing that we developed into the football that we know today.
Okay. So is it still the same rule that they only kick it around, not using hands?
They changed it. So the structure slowly changed because it's a recreational sport. So basically, they developed the rules through times. So they changed. So back in about 1860, they decided to have a rules that. So back before then, they used to play about 2 hours.
2 hours
for one game.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
that's even longer.
They will separate 1 hour for one half, and the other 1 hour for the other half.
Right.
And then they came together in London and in Sheffield, basically where they formalized the rules of the game. So they just come to talk together and, okay, let's have something shorter because that would be too long for the players to play.
Yeah.
And then they decided together that they will play about 45 minutes in each half.
Okay.
So that's how it began.
Right.
That they come into 90 minutes to these days.
Okay, so it's for the player's sake, not the audience sake.
Oh, basically, I believe it's both way because
Right.
the people who are watching, they're not gonna enjoy 2 hours long game. I believe.
That would be a little too long.
Yeah, that
right?
would be a little too long.
Okay.
And for the players also, that would be a little too long for them to run for an hour.
What do you think it would happen if the game is shorter today? For example, like half the time that they usually do it. Do you think that would make it more fun or less fun?
Well, basically, in football, we have something called futsal. Basically, that is something Thailand is very good at also. We are like one of the top team in Asia.
Like smaller field and smaller numbers
of players and shorter games. So it will be more intensified and the player
Right.
will have more skill. And you will see a lot of showboating in the game also.
Ooh.
Because basically they pack everything into smaller size and then player have to be more agility, more skillful to play the game.
Also, Thailand is pretty good at futsal, huh?
Yeah, we are pretty good at futsal.
Really? So, which rank are we right now?
We are about one of the top teams in Asia because we can compete with the Japanese and the Iran.
Wow.
We're one of the good teams here.
That's nice.
So that's something for you to root for in Thailand.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so and how about the players? They have like 11 players at a time, and so 22 guys running around the field trying to like kick the ball into the other team's goal, right? So what if we use like less players than that for the same space? What do you think is going to happen?
More tired.
Right?
So the player will have to do more. They have to cover more space. They have to cover more option and things that they have to do probably demand more from them.
Okay.
So the game used to be played about 15 to 21 players.
I was going to ask.
Back in the days.
Yeah. So what if we like throw in like double the numbers of the players for each team? Is that going to be like more fun to watch or play?
I think that would be more chaotic.
Yeah.
Because of the players, there will be too many players on the field.
Right.
So back then they used to have 15 to 21 players. And then, of course, the same years, 1860, they come together and then they formalize that the rules that they're going to have 11 on each side.
Okay.
So back in the days, it's like 2 teams come together, 2 club or 2 university. They're just like, okay, today we're going to play 15. Today we're going to play 17.
Oh, so there's no set of rule.
They don't set a rule back
Okay.
then. So you're just like, okay, we have no equal number of players. You guys just sit on the bench and wait for us to finish.
Oh, okay. It used to be like more flexible back
More
then.
flexible,
Okay,
more.
but since they formalize it, so everybody has to like
Follow
the same rule.
Follow the same rules. So
Okay.
they turned the game into a sport. More rules and more regulations.
I see. So let's talk about the number behind like the shirt of each players. Do those number have any significance meaning?
Well, basically, in football, they start counting from goalkeepers to the forwards. So
Okay.
from the back of the field into the forward striker area.
Right.
So they start counting from goalkeeper to be number one, and then 2, 3, 4, 5.
So that's why a lot
the
of
back
time
line.
we see the goalkeeper or the goalie wears number one.
Yes.
So does it still the fact today? Like, do they still do that?
Oh, not really, because the game has changed a lot, and they understand that these kind of rules don't really make any difference because
see.
the player can wear any numbers that they want.
Right. Basically, any number at all.
Any number.
What if I like the number 1008?
Oh, that's probably too much.
Okay. So they still limit at like 2 digits?
Yeah, 2 digits.
Okay. Can we do 3?
Well, I believe that some league allow to do that,
Really?
but we don't really see that much. Like it's not widely accepted
Okay.
in the global sport of football.
I see.
Because they believe that number 99 is already a lot. so they just believe 2 digits is just perfect on the back of the shirt.
Okay. All right. So the goalie used to wear number 1. And what about the other position?
Well, the back line will be 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And then the midfield will be like 6, 7, 8.
Uh-huh.
And then in front will be like 9 and 10. Two striker in front.
I
so
see.
those are the numbers that just like basic sets of numbers for players.
Uh-huh.
If you look back into the history of the game, the football actually developed a lot for numbers. But if you want to see what it used to be like, you have to look at rugby. Rugby, they stick to this system of if you play this position, you need to wear this number.
Oh, still now?
They still-
They still do that now?
Yes, still today.
Okay.
So when you're a player and then the coach was giving out the jersey, they're just
Right.
like, oh yeah, you're number 1, you're starting today.
Okay.
And then you get the numbers like 16 because they have 15 players in the field. You get 16, you just realize, oh man,
Oh, okay.
I'm a sub.
You're going to be
I'm
sitting
gonna
on the
be-
bench.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the bench.
Oh, okay.
So they're giving out the number in the night before the game,
Mm-hmm.
or actually the morning before the game.
oh.
So that's
okay.
still the tradition in rugby. And
Right.
and I still believe it's some kind of a prestigious thing when you're feeling like, oh wow, I'm a number 1 today.
This is my
I'm
number.
a number 7 today.
Okay.
Oh, wow, they appreciate me to play in this position.
Oh, okay.
But in football, it's more like commercialized now because if you look back into the numbers, the players that play in front, they will have the numbers like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
And those players that play in front, they're usually the one who make history because they're the one who winning games. The playmaker, the classic striker, the wingers.
They score.
Yeah, they score.
Yeah.
So basically, they create legacy to those numbers. And after they create legacy to those numbers, players just like, oh wow, I want to wear number 7. I want to be like David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Right.
Eric Cantona for Manchester United.
Yeah.
So the numbers develop to be that you don't have to wear it, but the player themselves actually, yeah, I want that number.
Yeah, they still have the mindset of what value this
Yeah.
number has, right?
The prestigious numbers.
The prestigious.
sort
All
of
right.
how you say ความเชื่อ
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But okay, so for striker to striker, probably they're number 10 and number 9.
Number
let's say.
9 and number 10.
Yeah, 9 and 10. So who's better? Or they don't go by that kind of ranking in.
No, not really in football because number 9, number 10 will do different roles.
Oh, okay.
Number 9 will be more of a striker, and number 10, if you easily to compare it to, number 10 will be like somebody like Zinedine Zidane, Lionel Messi, those kind of player who can command the game in the top third of the field.
Right.
In the attacking area.
Right.
They can be the one who make a difference. They can be somebody who you can rely on. They can be the leader of the team. Number 10 are more of those type of thing. Number 9 is more like Ronaldo. You know Ronaldo in Brazil?
Yeah.
Like those kind of players who score themselves, will score amazing goals, will
Right.
be the one who create the differences.
Okay, so it's not the matter of who's better than who, but maybe the role
The
of
role
the
that you
number is
play.
different.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure if other sports have the same kind of thinking regarding the numbers.
Well, in rugby, they probably have the same thing because they do have to always have this mentality inside the game that if you're a forward, you're a big guy, you're slow, you're impact players that you make a difference, but you're slower than the backs. But then if you get the number, so in rugby they have number 1 to 8 you play a forward. So when you see a scrum, the two team pushing each other, those are the forward.
Right.
And then in the back you have like from number 9 to number 15. And they all I used to play forward. So we used to call the back the pretty boys.
Because they're like smaller and
smaller,
like quicker.
faster. They always have their hair products on. they always look good. We always in the mud. We always have like cut in our faces because we're the one who go into the rocks.
Right.
We're the one who. So if you want to play a certain numbers, you need to bring a certain abilities and impact to the game.
Okay.
So in rugby, it's sort of like if you get to play number 7, that's like wow. So you have you're big guys, but you're also fast as well. But if
so you can tell like almost immediately by knowing the number that they're wearing.
Yeah.
That okay, you must be this type of players,
Yes.
and you bring this kind of value
Yes.
to the game.
Yes.
Wow.
So the similar thing will be the number 10. In football, I said before, like Zinedine Zidane and Lionel Messi, your impact player, creative players. In rugby, it's the same. Number 10 is like the first half. Basically, the fly half, basically the one who dictate the game, who command the creativity in the field.
สุบาษานี่ก็ใส่เบอร์ 10 ป่ะ
เบอร์10
ใช่ไหม
ใช่ครับ
So that's the most I know about football. So from Tsubasa. Even I who don't like football very much, I still read Tsubasa. Yeah. Okay.
That's the impact of the Japanese anime.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Japanese, because they kind of make a huge impression with this World Cup, and actually they continue to make like great impression and always giving hope to us Asians that someday maybe we can win the World Cup, right? Yeah, and a lot of people has said that they built their football culture from manga.
Anime,
Manga. From manga and anime. Yeah.
So basically, Japan is one of the good models in terms of how you inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
Because they have 3 things that I believe that are elemental, that are most important elements to their development of football. They have the thing called passion from learning, from seeing the cartoon, the anime, and the manga.
Yeah.
They see it, and then they spark their dreams and their beginning of following football. Because back in the day, football is not really number 1 sport in Japan.
Yeah.
It was a baseball.
Yeah.
And to this day, even though I went to the Japan Football Association, I talked to the staff that it's just like, well, we don't really like to say that we are number 1 sport. Now we might close to baseball because we can't say that football is already beyond that.
Yeah.
So basically, the manga and the anime started like a spark, imagination to the young players, to the young people that are reading it and following it. And then the things that are followed that are different in other nations is structure. Is they have a plan how to build a football, how to develop a players. So I talked to the J League marketing team, asking them like, what do you see the professional league inside of the Japan? What are they planning? What are their roles in terms of developing football? They give me the answer that I find very interesting. They tell me that so in Japan, the national team, they don't really play in Japan anymore. They play in Europe. So the J League role today is actually to develop players from youth to professional, then send them to Europe. So basically they have imagination from manga, they have a plan,
the strategy,
and the last thing is they have a dream to win the World Cup in 2050.
Wow.
So all these things come together, keeping them from stepping back. They keep excelling forward.
Wow, that's amazing. That is such a Japanese thing
to do.
Yeah. So do you honestly see Thailand do something like that, or where are we heading?
Well, we just have a big reset recently that the Buriram team is coming into structuring the youth development in Thailand.
Yeah.
And they say they like to do a similar system to Blue Lock anime, to Blue Lock manga. So basically, Blue Lock is like bringing all of the strikers, the youth striker together in one camp and to find the only one striker that will be representing Japan in that position.
Right.
And in that camp, they just try to grind out the most egotistic striker because they complain in the story themselves that Japan never went past the round of 16 because of the same kind of mentality that we have to work together, we have to always think of the other players, we have to not be egotistic, we have to be humble, we have to keep working together, keep going as a team.
But it's not serving. That is not serving to the ultimate goal anymore.
To the ultimate goal. So they believe that they have to create. This is in the stories in the manga that they need to create the most egotistic players out there. So we sort of already have a plan to follow that, but whether we can do it or not, only time will tell.
Okay. Wow. That's very interesting to follow and keep our eye on that. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back a little bit to the position or the players. Okay. I'm very interested in the goalkeeper or the goalie. Who would want to be a goalie? I mean, their function is a lot different from other guys on the field, right? And they don't get to do much compared to the other guys. And I'm not sure if they get paid like the same amount or if they can get paid like close to like let's say the striker. So is that the least desirable position to play? But having said that, I realize that goalkeeper plays a significant role in the game. But you know what I mean, right? Like compared to the other guys.
Yeah, if you talk to the people who has been watching this World Cup, you will think that goalkeeper is the most important position in the game because there have been a lot of extra time, then penalty shootout, and those who won the game for the team is actually the goalkeeper because they save a lot of goals. But those are the things that when you talk about the results, that's the important elements of the goalkeeper. But the goalkeeper nowadays is actually have a lot more to do rather than just saving goals. They dictate the play from the back also because the style of the game is changing.
Right.
The coach like to build the game from the back. What do I mean by building the game from the back? I mean like from goalkeeper, they need to be able to use their feet to open the game that the team can have the advantage of a good opening of the game.
I see.
The short passes, the long passes that can create advantage for the team. So the goalkeeper that can not only use their hand to save the goal, but can use their feet to play the ball as well. We have a high value in this market.
And I think they need to use like the mind capability too, and they have to be even strategic, right? Because they can like command the game, like you said.
Yeah, they can be a leader also in the game because what can be more empowering when your goalkeeper just like save a very great goal, and then they turn to the defender just like come on.
But on the other hand, if they
fumble.
If they fumble, if they lose it, they take the heat too.
That can drain the team.
Wow. Okay. So if you can get to play any position, I mean, if you can have any ability or any body type that you can make for yourself, and you can pick to play any position at all on the team, who would you pick?
Well, as an amateur, I of course like to play striker.
Okay.
Because it's a position that if you play amateurish, you will probably think that you get all the glories when you play a striker because you get to score a goal. You have to control the ball. You have to strike the ball.
You're in the spotlight.
You're in the spotlight. You be the impact players.
Right.
But also, if I take my years back to like 10 years ago when I was still be able to play sport amateurishly, I probably like to play defensive midfield. Because those are like the position that I like to play.
Why?
Because you actually get to challenge a lot of the striker, and you're not the last line of defense also. So basically, you get to like tackle them, you get to like hassle them, you get to destroy the game. So that is like the fun position to be in.
Right.
But also demanding. That you got to run everywhere.
Okay. So as a player, 10 out of 11 guys cannot use hands beside like the goalie,
the
right?
Goalkeeper,
But can goalie score also?
Yeah, they can.
Really?
Because sometimes when you get a penalty, penalty is where you do a foul inside of the box,
right.
and then you get like a penalty kick. Some of the
Okay.
team choose like goalkeeper, you do it.
You mean they kick the ball?
Yeah, they can be the one to take the penalty.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes when the goalkeeper, when your team is behind or your team is like draw, and you have like 2 minutes left in the game, the goalkeeper come up also to play the corners.
Can we switch positions? Like today I'm a forward, and tomorrow can I be a goalkeeper if I want to?
Well, it might not be as easy as that.
Okay.
But sometimes the situation can demand that because sometimes you have like most of the team will bring like 2 goalkeepers to the game.
Right.
And sometimes the first one will get red carded and the second one will get
Get injured. Yeah.
And then you need to send somebody from. They usually pick the defenders to be the goalkeeper.
I see.
Because they sort of have some sense of defending.
Right.
So they put that position into the goalkeeper.
Okay.
So that's what I mean when situation demands that somebody else have to play.
Like emergency only.
Like emergency
But
only.
if you want to really change your position as a professional football player, do that happen too?
Yeah, that's happened a lot.
Really?
Because some players they can come up to be like left wing back, and then they found themselves to like to attack more, and they actually have the abilities to go fast and then to strike fear into the players of the opposition.
Right.
For one of the most easiest example is Gareth Bale. He played for the Wales national team, and he used to play for Tottenham Hotspur and Real Madrid. He used to play in the position of left back, and then he played in the position of left wing, and he played a very good game too at that position. So it can
I
develop
see.
through time also.
Okay. Are there a lot of like versatile players out there? Like someone who can be very good at more than one position?
I think we have a lot of those kind of players that they can play in many positions, especially but they usually in groupings. So you have forward, midfield, and defenders. They can if a really great player, versatile player, they can play many positions. And for the great example is actually the France national team right now, because they have so many injuries that some of the players have to step into the role that they don't usually play.
Yeah.
So basically in France right now, in the right back, Jules Koundé, he usually plays center defender. But now the French don't have the right back, so he have to move and play the right back instead.
Okay.
But sometimes it can be interchangeable, but sometimes
Right.
you don't really want to do that.
How valuable is that? The being versatile, like being able to play many positions compared to being really great at one position.
I think the modern game demand that you can do more than one thing. I think it's
see.
like the modern work also.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to demand you to do to be able to do more. It's similar to football as well because the game is more fast paced and it demand a lot of physicality, mentally also. So when the game come, if you look at the midfield, those of the young players that are playing the World Cup right now, Choumani from French, Jude Bellingham from England, from British, he actually can do a lot of things. He can attack also, he can defend also, he can command the game in the central area of the field also. So the modern game demand more from the players to be able to play different style, but from different position. I believe that the forward area, the striking area, you can roam from left wing to right wing, from striker to right wing, and sometimes from left wing to striker also.
Yeah, it sounds like a natural thing to do too, like in the match, right? Okay. So what do you think is the most fascinating about football from your perspective?
I believe it's all the stories that came out of it because it's the game that the whole world enjoy. In Brazil, they call it a religion. Basically, it's a religion for them.
Right.
So you get to see the team success, and you get to see the team fail, and then you get to see the team fail and come back again.
Yeah.
So it's all the stories of resilience.
So much drama.
So much drama, so much passion involved.
Right.
So much tears involved also for
Right.
like I was crying when Japan got knocked out of the round of 16. So it's emotionally connected people to the world.
Right.
And also football can be something that universal. A lot of people when you're carrying a football in your hand, you don't really need to speak. You
Right,
just like
exactly.
you want to play, and then you just
Yeah.
know.
Or
then
can I play?
Yeah, and
then you're
play?
friends.
Yeah, and then you're
Yeah.
friends. One of the charming things that I found when I was going over to FIFA World Cup in 2018 in Russia, I actually found that they have a lot of these. When we go to the fan fest, they have, of course, they have drinks, they have a big screen, they have a festival, they have everything. But the thing that I found most interesting is actually they have a small-sided game for the fans to play.
Oh.
And I was like, and I see like, Japanese people, Japanese fan playing against the Brazilian. And I was like, wow. And the Japanese fans actually play better. So I was like, okay, that can happen.
Yeah. Well, it's the culture.
It's the culture
That-
and
that
it's
comes
a
with it,
universal language that people can enjoy
see.
and people can relate to.
Yeah. And one thing that I've seen like all the times is that the football fans are super loyal.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like the most loyal fans, like compared to other sports, I'm not sure, but football fans, they're like super loyal. And do you think there's like people out there who are fans and then they kind of switch sides or kind of like, oh, okay, I'm not rooting for you anymore. I'm gonna go root for the other guys. Does that happen too?
Oh, I believe at the club level that can be hard. That's like rarely happen.
Yeah.
Unless you are like, really outer layers of the fans.
Right.
Not really the hardcore fan.
Yeah.
If you're a hardcore fan, you never switch.
Right.
Somebody got tattoo of the club on their bodies.
And it's like the hometown
Yeah,
team too, right? Like they were born in this town and there's a team for that town. You're always rooting for your guys, right?
Yes. So basically it's begin back in the days when it's a working class sport. So basically you came from factories, you come play football, and then you play for your club. So basically it's en route into your culture.
Yeah, it's your like community.
It's your community.
Yeah.
And one of the most interesting thing that I found when I was researching all this information is that, back in the days when in Europe, when you want to find something that symbolize or represent the city, you build a church. But in modern days, when they stop building church, the thing that they build is a stadium.
Right.
It's a football stadium.
Right.
So it's become a symbol of the city. So if you support a club and you're from the city, you don't really change the club.
Yeah.
You just support it. But for national team, I believe that for us, we never been in the World Cup yet.
Yeah.
So we have to support some team.
Right.
For me, I support the Italians, but they are not here.
Okay.
I don't know why. For the third time in a row.
Why you think? Why?
Probably because they're Italian. But not to be offensive to them, but after the successful campaign in the Euro, they sort of I think they got ahead of themselves a little bit. They maybe got a little bit complacent, and then didn't qualify
Right.
again for the World Cup.
Okay.
And then so I choose to support the Brazilian, and then I found the story of the Japanese team to be very passionate, and then I went over to visit the Japanese Association and learn about the stories of the plans to win the World Cup in 2050.
Yeah.
So I found a lot of relation to that. So I support the Japanese, the Brazilian, and the Italian, and then all of them are out of the World Cup now.
It sounds like we can enjoy football the most, like even more than those who have stakes in like the game, like the Japanese who are rooting for their team to be the champion, or those other guys. But we can support like many teams at the times too.
Unless Thailand make it, of course.
Oh, of course.
Unless Thailand make it.
Okay. When do you think that's gonna happen? By the way.
There was a joke going around in my Facebook that the Japanese planning to win the World Cup in 2050.
Yeah.
So we're gonna plan to go to the World Cup in 2054 maybe.
Whoa.
No, but that's just some of the joke aside to be a satire to the development of the team. But next World Cup is gonna be interesting because usually they play for 32 teams. The next World Cup is going to be played in 3 countries, in Mexico, USA, and Canada. And they're going to expand the number of the team in the last round.
Wow.
From 32 to 48. So the gap qualification, we're going to get like 8.5 team from Asia. So our opportunity actually expand.
Okay.
But-
and they're gonna keep this rule for like from this day forward?
Yeah. So basically it's going to, I think they're going to learn that it's going to work or not. It's sort of the same thing that's happening right now when you have the World Cup in the winter.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. Let's not do it again.
Right.
But yeah, so our gap of opportunity actually expand. So if we get ourselves together and then have a plan, have a structure, have a dream to go there, and I believe we can do it. We
Yeah.
always support them anyway. Yeah.
Alright.
We always believe that they can do it, but now it's up to them to do it.
Okay. So, last question for today. How do we enjoy the football the most as the audience?
Well, as my previous editor always told me, if somebody never watched football, the thing that you got to tell them is find a team to support. Just find something that related to you. If you like
How
this
do we
player,
find our like dream team or like someone who you want to support? How do we find them?
you can start by watching the strong team. You know, like the French national team, not the Germany anymore. They're already out. But yeah, Argentina with Lionel Messi playing his last World Cup.
Yeah.
So you can begin there, watching these two teams, and then you understand how great they are. You see great moments in the game, and you can start by reading some of the stories of the players that has been put out there from the Standard.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And also from my program, The Champions, everyone during the World Cup, every day during the World Cup.
Follow them.
We on every 12 noon every day that the World Cup is playing.
Okay.
So you can follow the champions to see the stories that are related to you from the World Cup. Because we always try to bring the sport closer to the people. Because I believe that sport can bring inspiration to people. To see that some of the players to look like, you know, they're not going to make it. They're underdogs, like Morocco at this time and the Croatia also. They can make a difference and they can make the giant bleed. So those are the things that you can find related to your life somehow. So if you want to begin, just support the big teams if you like. But if you want to find something more interesting, you go support like Morocco or Croatia. I believe that those kind of stories can be related to you also.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for coming on the show and for talking about football today. So I think we can enjoy football more from now on. And of course, if you're interested in sports, just come to the Standard and follow the work of Nick and his team too. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ
สำหรับใครที่พลาดงาน The Standard Economic Forum 2022 Age of Tomorrow เศรษฐกิจไทยบนปากเหวเราเปิดจำหน่ายให้รับชมย้อนหลังแล้วครับ1วัน 1,500 บาท3วันราคา 3,900 บาทรับชมทางออนไลน์ตลอด3เดือนตั้งแต่วันนี้ถึง1มีนาคม2566พร้อมสรุปบทเรียนทุกเซสชั่นเนื้อหาเข้มข้นเจาะลึกมองเห็นอนาคตก่อนใครพร้อมข้อคิดในการรับมือกับความไม่แน่นอนสำหรับผู้นำยุคใหม่ตัวจริงที่ทำให้คุณไม่ตกเหว
ผมว่าปีหน้าเป็นจุดเปลี่ยนประเทศไทย
คนเนี่ยเกิน 40% บอกว่าตัวเองเนี่ยเบิร์นเอาท์ละ
แต่ผมเชื่อว่ามันกำลังสะท้อนว่าเราพาตัวเราเองหนีออกจากเวทีโลก
ถ้าอนาคตเนี่ยเมืองจะแข่งกันดึงคนเก่งแข่งกันสร้างคนเก่งประเทศไทยสร้างได้ไหมประเทศไทยดึงคนเก่งได้ไหมสุดท้ายอยู่ไม่ได้หรอก
โอกาสสุดท้ายที่ผมไม่อยากให้คุณพลาดกับงาน The Standard Economic Forum 2022 Age of Tomorrow เศรษฐกิจไทยบนปากเหว